everybody. It's your old buddy Rip One Outdoors. Yeah, overlooking another bar pit down here. Trying to look and see maybe we can get down in there and do some riding. I certainly can't go there. That's about a 20-foot drop there. But I think I can go right around through these woods right here. Right around through the edge of these woods. And I think I can get down in there. Find the haul road where they've been hauling it out. They got another gate. Well, we're not gonna go through no barbed wire there. I could go down that hill right there, but I'm not gonna do it. Deer tracks everywhere. Tell you what, in a couple weeks I won't be coming down here much because it's gonna be it's gonna be the heat of the deer season going on. So we're on Ridge Road south. The Ridge Road y'all have long seen me ride for over a year now. We're down south. We're down in a place here where you never see me ride because it's usually too wet for me to get down here. But we're here now. It's on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. 73, 72, 73, something like that. Oh man, it's beautiful. Nice day for a ride. The colors are starting to turn, our trees are starting to turn color. Look at this little sweet gum tree up here, how pretty. Ain't that pretty? Yeah, we just riding, we talking, telling a story now and then. Yep, riding the old Magicycle deer. All these used to be old home sites in here, y'all. I could call a lot of them off, but I want to get Mickey and Joey back down here and let them, cause Mickey and them can ride along there. Mickey's a lot, older than I am, and he can tell you whose old places these are. Now, I would go down through there, but I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of low-hanging limbs, and I don't care about dodging no bunch of low-hanging limbs. We used to come down here squirrel hunting, y'all. Joey and Mickey, they watch a video. They'll be able to tell you. Yeah, we used to come down here squirrel hunting and fox hunting and possum hunting and coon hunting. I mean, you named it. We'd come out here just to walk around in the woods. But yeah, NASA moved all these people out after they bought up all their land. Somewhere around early 60s. That's when we had to move out. I think this is the road that goes back into my Aunt Esther's old place. I ain't gonna go down in there. It looks too thick down in there. Yeah, it just goes back down there to the cable line where we was at on that other video. I ain't worried about the mud and the water and stuff, but I just don't care about getting scratched up. I just about got my arms all healed up now, and I don't want to get them scratched up. No limbs. I went one time to, I told y'all once that I used to have sheep. and goats and stuff like that. All out in that field there in front of the house. I didn't mow that. I had sheep to keep all that eat down. We used to get sheep from different places, but they used to have a animal auction off chicken sale they called it. Out there on Catahoula, out about probably 8-9 miles away from out east of Picayune, out east of Walmart there. But yeah, they had auction. You could bring your chicken if you wanted to sell it, or you wanted to sell rabbits or animals of some kind. You bring them there in a cage, and they got an auctioneer comes around, and people follow the auctioneer. All right, that's the old railroad right there, y'all. That's going south, going to NASA. That's the railroad we crossed right there by where the horses are. Same railroad. That's the one I'd like to make a rail trail out of, a bike trail. But I think that's well out of my power, you know. I can talk about it though. But anyway, went out there to the goat, and they had goat sale up in an auction barn, you know, just like you would of cows. Went up in there, and they had little old walkways where you could walk back in there and look at the goats and sheep before you went bid on them, and you could write their numbers down, and you say, okay, I want number 13 or I want number 21, and that's the one we'll go bid on. And it's according to what you was willing to bid is the answer to whether you got that, where you got that or not, where you bought it. So I went back there and got to looking back there, and I was looking for some of these little dwarf goats. They about half the size of like a brush goat or a boar goat. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a picture of this little goat that I bought. Yeah, y'all, this is Texas Flat. This is they call it the scenic byway to space. That goes to Bay St. Louis and Flat Top Road out that way. The McLeod Park's out that way. Log truck. Yeah, McLeod Park, Bay St. Louis, Gulfport, everything. That's our shortcut through. And a lot of traffic on that road, but I won't ride it with a bicycle because you see, there's no shoulder of any kind. But what I am gonna do, I ain't forgot about the goat story. Now I'm gonna get back to that, but I'm gonna ease across over the road here. Now this is Highway 607. I've had y'all on Highway 607 before. And naturally, being a Sunday, there's no traffic. That lady was giving me the sweet eyes. Yeah, there was no traffic on this road, not much today. I thought about several times coming from the house and just riding down the highway on Sunday morning, because there's nothing down here on a Sunday morning. So let me ride here. Let me finish telling you the story about the old goat. Anytime you put a bunch of old billy goats in a pen together, there's gonna be a fight. Now this is like a little shortcut road here, goes through, I don't know, the government's doing something down in there. See, all this is NASA. Everything from here south, that's NASA. Plus, the Navy has a lot of land out in there, and I'll get into that in just a few minutes. But anytime you put a bunch of goats together, they're gonna fight. Well, I seen this old goat in the corner. There's another man standing there. Boy, that's a sinkhole right there. Anyway, y'all, this is there's an old artesian well out in there. I can't hardly get it to where I can show it to y'all. But there's an old artesian well down here that we used to, anytime we come down here riding our bikes, we'd go to that artesian well. And there's always water coming up in there. And we could get a fresh drink of water. And I'll get in a little bit, I'll explain where this road goes and all. But yeah, I seen a little goat in the corner over there, and boy, he was working over them big goats. I walked up there, I said, is that what I think it is? I said, is that one of them little pygmy goats? And I said, he's working over them big old Nubian goats and boar goats and all that. He's keeping them backed up in the corner. And this man standing there, he said, yeah, he said, I've been watching him. He said, he's whipped every one of them goats. And I said, that's the one I want. He was a little short, stocky thing. He wasn't no more than about 18 inches tall. I took that thing home. I got him for about probably $30, $35, something like that. I said, well, you know, he'll make some good baby goats. Nothing else. I took him home. But yeah, he whooped them big goats because he was so short that he could get underneath them in their belly and hook them big horns up in their bellies. Son, them goats, they don't like to be messed with in their bellies. And that goat get up underneath them, he'd hit them with them horns, son. I tell you right now, he had them coming to him with their hat in his hand. So I wound up with the goat and I brought that thing home. First thing you notice about him is he stunk. I mean, he stunk like, you've ever heard you ever smelled an old boar goat when you're around them? Or an old male billy goat when you're around them, and them things, they stink so bad. Why do they stink? Because they pee all over themselves. Yeah, it's part of being a goat, I guess. You pee all over yourself. That ought to draw some interesting comments. So what did I name him? I named him Leroy Brown because he was the baddest dude in the whole town that day. And I took him home, and I tell you, he made me a good little goat, and I think he brought some little ones around, you know. But he stunk so bad. People would come around and there's some, my God, what is that? I mean, you could smell him for 50 yards away. And that was him, and he stunk. I think I finally got rid of him. But, well, I know I did, because I ain't got him now. But he made me a good little goat. He was a dwarf goat, but I called him Leroy Brown, because I can tell you right now, he was a bad dude. I brought him home. And I had a big billy there. And he whooped that big billy so bad, that big billy couldn't even stand to be around him. He couldn't even get around him. And what I had was one of them big boar billies. Yeah, Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole town. Ain't that how it goes? Bad Leroy Brown. All right, y'all, let me get into where we're at today and what we're doing. This road, as we cross the Highway 607 back there, this used to be the old Highway 11 that came through all the way from New York City all the way down to wherever, New Orleans, or how far as it went. This was the old Highway 11, and people traveled through here before there was an interstate. Interstate 59 came through about the time the test site came in, was about 60 some odd. I think the date on the bridges over there are 61, and that's when the Interstate 59, that was all made part by the Eisenhower administration, you see. Put in the interstate highway, so for what reason? Move troops. That's right, in case we got under attack and move troops quickly. Boy, this is a nice road to ride here. But hey, Daddy used to bring us through here sometime. We'd go down the Pearl River. I vaguely remember riding down through here before the interstate was made. But I remember coming through here, and it winds up, it goes down here and stops at the river, at East Pearl River. A little place called Delta Landing. Looks like they got a cable across it where you can't go across no further. And that's fine, we just turn around. Well, we enjoyed the ride down here so far. I think we're gonna stop and pull over here in the shade and get us some water. Well, I tell you what, there ain't nobody gonna knock that gate down, are they? They knew they put that thing in. See, I think the river's right there. See, that's East Pearl. That's about how, you know, I took y'all to where they building the Loves. I mean, that's about how far. Actually, I think we're closer to the river up by the house than what this is. But yeah, down behind where they're building the Loves, it's not far down there as East Pearl River. You can see it on the Google Maps or whatever. Now, as you see here, all this is government property. All back in there. That used to be a hunting club. We was in that hunting club at one time. It was called Mike's River. Mike's Island Hunting Club. And they had a river down there called Mike's River. That's how the hunting club got its name, Mike's Island. But there's something special about this land here. This land is used for troop training. Navy SEALs and SWCC use this land to train on. I said Navy SEALs and SWCC. Now I'm fixing to have to tell y'all what SWCC are. I know you know what Navy SEALs are. Now you see that sign right there where it says military firing range? That is a military firing range. They set off more ammunition down here in one day's time than what I could ever pay for in my lifetime, probably. Grenades, I mean, what all does the military have? They have everything. Laser range in use, do not enter. I don't know what laser is, or whether they're using lasers. I don't know. I don't know what all that is. But I can tell you this. Mama didn't raise no fool. Richard ain't going beyond that fence, because I hear them blowing up all that stuff down here during the week, because when I'm in pretty weather like it is right now, I keep my window open and I can hear them miniguns going off. Y'all know what a minigun is. That's continuous. It's like a Gatling gun. It produces a continuous round of fire. See, I have to strap that water bottle down, or that thing that, you know, all that flipping and flopping it does, it'll fly out of there. Like on my intro, y'all see the water bottle coming out on my intro? There's the Dusty Deer, as I call it, okay? Yeah, we're in Hancock County, Mississippi. Right on the edge of the training ground for the Navy. SWCC. All right, what is SWCC? I can pull my cheat sheet out of my pocket now. SWCC is SWCC, Special Warfare Combatant Crew. And their job is primarily in support of Navy SEALs. There you go, SWCC. Good boys. I've had a chance to meet a few of them in my time. I'll maybe tell a few things about that. But the training that they do down here is mostly primarily with the boats, the river boats. And we became friends with their commander, the guy who was over this whole operation. And we raced these remote control trucks down at the house where Joey works down here. And Joey got to be friends with the guy, and he found out we raced. He said, you know, that's something I could bring in my little boy down there, and we could. Well, this guy, he went in overboard, man. He bought all kind of racing cars and come down there, and we'd race with him. You know, he was a very nice guy, but he was a Navy SEAL. And I could tell you some things he told us when I get time about some of his training and some of his stuff that they put them through as Navy SEALs. But he was on the he was going to leave and go and take over a place up at Norfolk, I believe. Maybe later on go to Guam. And because we made friends with him through the remote control trucks, he wanted us to come down to the dog and pony show where they did the outgoing and incoming. It's a change of command ceremony. So you think I'm gonna turn that down? No, we went down there. And when we got down there, they had a firing exercise. He told Joey, he said, y'all wanna come to this? He said, because we're gonna do a hot extract. Now, I don't know if any of y'all remembers what the movie was that the Navy SEALs made. And they made a movie about a hot extraction. I can't remember the name, but I'm gonna put a graphic here, what the name of that movie is. You go out and you look that up on YouTube. Well, the hot extract part was filmed right here in Hancock County. And while we were at the change of command ceremony, you know, we had to go through all the speeches and everything, and but they told us about all the millions of dollars that Chuck, who was the outgoing commander, they told us how many millions of dollars that his budget for ammunition was that they had shot down here. It was humongous. That's the old Western, that's part of the old, I call it Western gravel pits. Maybe it's not all this had separate names, but they were old borrow pits that they borrowed dirt out of to build the interstate. But good fishing holes. We used to fish in them holes. You wouldn't want to go in there now because them boys, them SEALs use that for, and SWCC use that for training now. While we were there, they had all the speeches and everything, then they did the hot extract. And all we had was, that's when I had gotten my first iPhone, okay? My first iPhone. This is the main road that goes into here. There used to be they call this Tweaky Road. But it was an old water park, Tweaky Park, and it was nothing no more than these old bar pits here. Somebody leased the land or whatever and put inner tubes down there, and people would come. They'd come all out of New Orleans and come up here and swim. And Tweaky Park, been several people drowned right there in them old bar pits. But yeah, that was the main drag that went in where we went in our hunting club, and now that's what the military uses that. But yeah, while we was there, they had a firing demonstration and a hot extract. And I'm gonna put, y'all don't want to miss this now, but this is a video that I took with like one of my first smartphones. And I didn't know that whenever I posted this thing on YouTube, it was one of the first videos that I posted on YouTube several years ago. That thing went viral, y'all, and it's still having a lot of views. Still getting a lot of views. I'm gonna put the link to it right here. Maybe I'll put it at the end screen too. But I'll put the link to it here, and I'll put it at the end screen too. So I want to make sure y'all see that. But I think you'll see. I don't think Mickey come, but Joy and Donald and Mary. Mary worked in here, and Mary said she would just get out of the office for a few minutes, and she wanted to come over and see what all the fuss was about, and she got hooked in on that live fire exercise and everything. That was and it was fun. But I got several hundred subscribers because of that one video right there. Military people, you know, hoorah and all this stuff, you know. Yeah, but we appreciate what our military does. We appreciate the fact that there's people that has to do extraordinary things for our country. Things that I wouldn't do. Naval Special Warfare Center, Western Maneuver Area, SWCC. See, and this is the Clay Pit Road, they call it. And see the flag raising right there. Whenever they put that flag up, that means that there's live fire going on in there right now. And y'all, they're not using plastic bullets either. They use live fire, live bullets. So they'll put that flag up, and that means the range is hot. And we went down there to watch the change of command ceremony, and I tell you what, I wouldn't have missed it for the world. You know, I got a lot of comments, so oh, you know, them guys, they wouldn't do that in real life. They wouldn't sit out there in the open like, come on, dudes, it's a dog and pony show. They was just doing it for the exercise. These guys are soldiers. Look at the video and yeah, leave your comment what y'all think about our SWCC team there. And what y'all think about them river boats when they come up that river. Right there, that's one of our old fishing holes right there. We used to catch brim right down there under the hill there. But yeah, that was fun to go see. And I'll still sit around the house sometimes if I want a little entertainment. I'll click on that video of hot extract. They got on that boat, and what I want y'all to notice on that boat, they got a 50 gunner on the back. And they got two 30 guns on the front, and they got a chain gun, a mini gun rather. Mini gun is like the Gatling gun. And just listen to the amount of brass hitting in that aluminum boat. When that minigun's firing, that thing is it's like a 5-gallon bucket pouring brass out. I ain't never seen anything like that in my life. Quite amazing, I can tell you. But that 50 gunner on the back, 50s don't make good guns for dummy fires, you know, like firing blanks, because they can't get enough pressure built up from firing the blank to work the boat, to kick the old brass out and put the new live round in. 50s just don't make good, you know, firing blanks weapons. 50s are good for what they are. But if you watch that 50 gunner in the back, he's having to work that boat with his hand, with his arm, because that thing ain't get enough, it ain't got enough pressure to kick that brass out. All right, y'all, we back up at 6:07 here now. All right, Stennis Space Center's just about a mile and a half down there, something like that. If I had time, I would take y'all down to the Turtle Skin Cemetery. It's just right down the road there. Yeah, there's a name for you, Turtle Skin Cemetery. All right, we're gonna ease across while we got a chance here. We used to call it Texas Flat Road, but now they call it the Santa Rosa Scenic Byway to Space. what did we always call this? We called it the Y, the Santa Rosa Aaron Academy. Aaron Academy was an old school. Y'all, I got something, I'm listening, there's something clicking. I probably got a stick or something another, a rock or something caught up in one of my brakes. Sound like it's okay now. But Aaron Academy was right back in here, and it was an old school back in the 30s, I guess, 40s. A lot of people from Hancock County came to this school and was educated. If I can find a picture online, I'm gonna copy it and paste it of the Aaron Academy School. On the picture, one of my aunts, where I turned up there on Ridge Road earlier, and I said that goes up into Aunt Esther's old place. Well, Aunt Esther is on this picture. That was my daddy's aunt, so she was a great aunt for me. So this has been a different ride and different view for y'all. We just going back the same way we come, y'all. We could go up the highway, but I don't know. It don't have a good shoulder, and I'm just not gonna trust it. You know, there's somebody dumped out a bunch of tires back there. But we just gonna motor on. Who knows what we're liable to see, huh? Beautiful day for a ride. So what's up in the e-bike world? Talked about Black Friday sales earlier, or lack of Black Friday sales. That's what they ought to call it. I haven't seen anything that impressed me yet, unless somebody does something on Black Friday day itself. I'm not going to be impressed. Yeah, I look forward to the time when I can get Joey and Mickey down here with me, because they'll remember a lot of these old places that I probably can't remember, and can probably tell a few stories, you know. Yeah, Ridge Road south towards Santa Rosa. I tell y'all what, we just gonna go ahead and shut her down. So you know our thing. We'll put that pitch out there. Any of y'all decide y'all want to buy bikes? You want to buy a Magicycle bike? I've got a link down there. I mean, I don't have 50 links for you because I didn't review 50 bikes. All I've done Magicycle and a couple other companies. And yeah, I'll throw their link there. But what I've got and what I've done, I appreciate the companies working with me. Been some real good companies to work with. So if you decide you want to buy that Magicycle bike, then I wouldn't blame you if you did, because they're really good bikes. Use that link in my description and check and make sure. I've already heard somebody tell me that my discount codes wouldn't work. But if you don't mind looking, just check and make sure that they don't work, because they turn them off and on themselves. I don't have any control over that. Because if they offer some kind of discount code themselves, then my discount code is just null, see? Anyway, I won't rattle on and on about that anymore. But I'll put my email down there. If anybody's got any questions they want to ask, I'll be glad to try to answer, or I'll get somebody to help me with it or something or another. Y'all know what the rest of the story is. Hit that like and that subscribe. And till we see y'all out on the road next time. This is Rip One Outdoors. We hope y'all have a blessed day.